Hello and welcome to the semi-final team selection and transfer video for Euro 2020 Fantasy Football. We'll look at a little bit back at the quarterfinals. Remember, I took a -8. I stand by that. Even though it's not been a fantastic quarterfinal match day for me, I'm still in the game. I'm still knocking around, even though I dropped from about 20,000 to 70,000. But I'll explain all the moves whilst looking forward to the 5 transfers made for the semi-final of Euro 2020. So let's get into it. So in the quarterfinals, I took a -8. I had no playing bench and I got 46 points in the quarterfinals, but I so needed that -8. If I didn't take it, I would have been absolutely destroyed. Now, looking at the -8, I did say in the previous video of that -8 quarterfinal video that it wasn't just for the quarterfinals, right? It was for the quarters, the semis, and the finals. So it was a -8 split over 3 match days. And the players that I brought in, Luke Shaw getting me 12 points, Raheem Sterling captaincy getting me 12 points, Harry Kane getting me 10 points as well. So a huge amount of points there for the sake of a -8. No playing bench. You can see Jack Grealish doesn't come on for a 0. I really thought he was going to play. Berardi coming on. Gets a 0 because he gets a yellow card. So looking back at the -8, the transfers I brought in did fantastic. The reason why I only got 46 points were really because the players I already had let me down. The players like, for example, Italy, they're through to the semi-final. They win the game 2-1. My Italians get me nothing. Donnarumma, goalkeeper. Lorenzo giving away a penalty. Berardi not starting. I did say I didn't think he was going to start. I did say that I thought he was going to come on. Both came to pass, but he came on and got booked. Immobile, nothing again. And going to my Spanish guys. Sarabia off injured, I believe, at half-time. I think he's ripped an abductor muscle or something like that. So I think he's done. Morata hauled off, I think it was like 54 minutes into the game. So it was really just the players I had doing nothing for me. And coming back to the -8, if you're going to take big hits now, I do think it's incredibly difficult to make up those hits. So when I took that -8, I'm back in Italy and I'm back in England like I have done for a few rounds now. And the good thing is, going forward now, this -8, I've not lost any players. Sarabia is out because he's injured, but that's, you can't really plan for that kind of situation. Like, look, for example, of Spaziola, the left back for Italy, really, really unfortunate. He's like ripped his Achilles heel. One of the best players this tournament. He was my man of the match in that Belgium game up to that point. Really big shame for him. But you can't plan for things like that in fantasy football. So the point I'm making is about taking big hits now for the semis and the final. I just don't know where the points are going to come from, because we've only got 4 teams left. 2 of them are going to go out into the semi-finals, of course. And when I look at, for example, strikers, I don't know where you're going to get points from. Like, you've got Dolberg at Denmark, you've got Morata at Spain, you've got Immobile at Italy, and you've got Kane at England. There's only say you're probably going to play 2 up front. Maybe just throw away a striker slot and go for a 3-5-2. I think that would actually be the best formation. Personally speaking, but that's just my opinion. And that's just because, why 3 defenders? Because if it goes to extra time, you've got 120 minutes you've got to keep a clean sheet. That's a huge ask. Going on to the forwards, I've just said there's really only 4 forwards left. And you've probably already got 3 of them. You've probably already got Kane, Immobile, and maybe one more like Morata or Dolberg. So there's no one really else to get there. So midfield is where you're going to attack. I would say 3-5-2 is the best. So let's go on to the transfers that I've made for the semi-finals. So when I took the -8, the good news is the 5 free transfers I'd planned for and already said, I'm only improving my team. So I've been able to, if we look at my bench, I didn't have a playing bench. Stecklenburg, Gosens, Kimpembe, Wijnaldum, I was able to replace them because I don't really have any players in my starting 11 that I have to worry about kicking out. So let's have a look at my team for the semi-finals. So starting on the bench, Simon, the Spanish goalkeeper, he has come in for Stecklenburg. So this way now, I already had Donnarumma at Italy. I've got Simon at Spain. one of them will be in the final. So I no longer have to use a transfer unless there's an injury or a red card. I don't have to use a transfer on a goalkeeper. You can see that now Mailer has dropped to the bench because of the date. I'll bring him in if Italy, lose or don't get any points for me there. Maguire in, so back in that England defense. We've not conceded a goal all tournament, so why not back them? And Damsgaard comes in just to give me a little bit of coverage, just in case England go out, because we will have 5 transfers for the final. If I have, you can see I've got Maguire, Shaw, Grealish, Sterling, Kane. I've got 5 England players, and I've got 2 Denmark players, right? I probably won't go into the final with a bench, but let's just say Denmark beat England. I've already got 2 Danish players. I only really have to reuse 3 of my 5 transfers to replace those English players. That's just if England go out. You can see I have a lot of Italy here because I've backed them since basically the group stage, like a lot of you guys will. Donnarumma, Bonucci in, Lorenzo still here. Shaw will obviously play the next day. Berardi, I didn't want to use a transfer to take him out because it's the same situation, because I had to take out Sarabia, the Spanish midfielder, and I did want to bring in a Danish player just to give me some balance. I wouldn't recommend obviously going 25% Denmark, 25 England, 25 Italy, 25 Spain, because like that 50% of your squad will be gone. So like I've said the whole time of the knockouts, back the players that you believe, or back the team that you believe is going to make it all the way. So you can say I've only got 1 Spanish player because I think Italy's going to go all the way. I've got 6 Italians. I've got 5 Englishmen, 2 Danes. Oh, sorry, I've got 2 Spanish. I'll take that back. I've got 2 Spanish players. So this is how I'm lining up. Insigne's back in the side now. I had him earlier on in the competition. He looks like he's really looking more lively as the competition's gone ahead. Same front 3 going on there. I think Southgate put his arm around Grealish at the end of the game. I've made the joke every game of Southgate's tactical move is to bring Rashford on at 65 minutes. Grealish doesn't get any minutes whatsoever. Soon as the final whistle goes, he gets his arm around him. I reckon he's told him he wanted to give him a full rest because he wants him for the semi-final. I think he might play instead of Mount, or I think he might play instead of Sancho. That's just my 2 cents. I do think Grealish will finally start in the semi-final, so he's staying in there. So my captain, you can see, is Insigne against Spain. If he doesn't do anything, and then it goes to the next game, Denmark and England, I'm going to back Harry Kane. But we're really in punt territory now, guys, or hold territory. So if you are looking at a great rank and you want to kind of solidify, these are the kind of players that you're going to be looking at. But if you're going to take a punt, I would obviously fill it with a lot of Danish players, a lot of Spanish players, but I just can't look past Italy, and I really am hoping, as well as not looking past England against Denmark, because I really believe that it's a huge opportunity for England. I don't want to say those 3 words, but coming home it is. Okay, so that is the end of this team selection and transfer video for the semi-finals of Euro Fantasy Football. If you like it, please leave a like and subscribe just below. You can just click just over there and have a look at my FPL first draft video over in the top corner. There'll be FPL content coming out over the summer, things like top tips, other drafts, maybe players to look at and players to potentially avoid, and then any friendly surprises or people that we're keeping an eye on during those friendly fixtures, there might be some content based on that as well. Let me know in the comments below, who are you backing to win the Euros and who are your captains for the semi-finals of Euro 2020? I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and as always, have a good one.